Percent of every human in the world lives on less than $1.90 a day. Most of these people barely have enough to eat and drink, let alone other human necessities like shelter. However, there are organizations that help these people by taking donations from people in more fortunate financial situations and use this money to buy necessities and build shelters for people that are in poverty. However, millions of dollars in donations are needed to support these actions and projects, which significantly slows down the process. But what if money wasn't even necessary to help people living in extreme poverty? If companies donated specific materials based on specific needs in different areas of the world, this would save a lot of money and help many people in poverty get the resources they need to live a better life. And for my Eagle project, I am building a solar dehydrator, which is a structure built out of wood that dries food preservation. This solar dehydrator will be used by people living in the remote areas of the Dominican Republic, where their communities have been neglected by the government because they live in such a remote area. One of the biggest challenges with this project is sending the material to the Dominican Republic. After building the dehydrator here as a prototype, I'll be sending the necessary materials so that the locals can build the solar dehydrator together. Because the solar dehydrator is so big, it's not very easy to just send all the wood and other materials over to the Dominican Republic. This is where I got the idea for a consortium in which companies could send different materials to the countries and areas where they're needed the most. To start, there are many homeless people all over the world who live in developed countries, and to help them, there are many organizations that accept donations of money, food, and clothing. Food and clothing are usually obtained in the form of drives in which organizations such as schools will organize a drive for people to donate either food or clothes. Instead of organizing drives with used clothes and canned foods, companies could donate 1% of their products that they make in a month to different charities so that people living in poverty would be able to wear new, quality clothes and foods that aren't canned. In less developed countries, different companies would sign up to send specific materials or products to the countries and areas that need them the most. For example, Acme Brick could donate bricks to create homeless shelters in Afghanistan, where the homeless population is one of the highest in the world. By just donating money, these bricks would need to be bought by the organization trying to help. With my program, expert philanthropists would be consulted to see what is the most needed in specific areas of the world, and these requests would be sent out to this consortium. By doing this, millions of people living in extreme poverty would be able to get the things that they need the most. One of the most important things about getting people out of poverty is trying to find ways for them to be more independent and allow people to earn money, get food, water, and to be able to shelter themselves. By building infrastructure around these areas, such as pipes for water in places like Africa and greenhouses in places where it's not easy to grow food, people under the poverty line will be able to live more independently and be able to use less and less support from their governments, communities, and donations to live their own financially stable lives.